Hey guys, Six here, going to be giving you Game 3 from the Dogsi number 5 semifinals brackets B between New Generation's Refallen, the green Protoss here on the left-hand side of Lost Temple, and MoonGlade, the purple Zerg, who's spawning on the right-hand side. So these are cross positions, so we are going to see a longer game. Would believe that there would be a hatch first play if Glade is able to scout out the close positions properly. And in the last game we did see Glade drop a game due to a cannon rush from this man right here. Not quite a cheesy cannon rush, more of an opportunity cannon rush, just able to sneak that probe right on in. And yeah, so are we going to see Refallen able to ride that momentum and take away another game here in Game 3 and make the series 2-1? Or are we going to be able to see Glade resecure his dominance as we saw in Game 1? It looks like both players are going to be scouting this northern position right here. Who is going to be able to spot who? I don't think anyone spotted anyone at the moment, actually. So both players will be ignorant of each other's positions for at least a little while longer. And yeah, a couple more drones being made. Going to be sending out a drone to the southern position as well. I do like this play, able to check out the most threatening position as well as another position. And so you get that scouting information just a little bit faster than your opponent, and it does look like Glade does indeed know that he is now cross-positioned. Should be expected to see a hatchery first. However, we are seeing a forge first for Fallen after he does scout the cross positions himself. So it looks like he is going to be going for another early expansion as we saw in game number 2, getting out that 18 Nexus. So we are probably going to see the same build as we see. This hatchery is already going down as well for Glade, so both players are going to be macroing up, going to be able to get up that second base, and it's going to come down to whether Refallen allows Glade to take a third, because generally in CVP you want to stay a base ahead of the Protoss, just because the Protoss units are so robust. So you need to be able to outnumber it. And it does look like Refallen is going to be going for another cannon rush, possibly. Going to be putting down this pylon here. Nice positioning right here. Able to create a choke. However, more drones are being pulled off the line. It does look like the drones are able to get a surround on them. However, Refallen puts down a second pylon. This probe is getting hit quite a lot. He needs to be very careful of that. Oh, getting trapped in the corner. Doesn't get the cannon down in time. The probe goes down. This pylon is finishing. It looks like this one is going to have to be cancelled. So Refallen just sinking 100 minerals right there this early in the game. That can be devastating, if not game losing. And it does look like MoonGlade is going to have a proxy hatchery here to block the Nexus, as he knows what's going on. And it does look like Refallen was indeed saving up for the Nexus. Refallen not having any units at all is forced to build a cannon and a gateway, as well as putting down an assimilator to try and catch up immediately. Double assimilator going down. So it's going to be a while before he can actually get this Nexus up. He doesn't want to expand here or here with that second Nexus if he doesn't have to, just because it will be more difficult to defend against the faster Zerg units. So it does look like these cannons are going to be able to get up. Looks like MoonGlade is going to be able to jump out to an early economic lead instead of Fallen, as we saw in the last game. And it does look like he's getting some nice saturation on the way. Putting down a late spawning pool. He knows there's no attacks coming in at the moment. As long as he spots for any sort of cannon shenanigans, he should be fine just to drone up at the moment. And it does look like this hatchery is lasting a very long time. Just so beefy, able to outbuild the two cannons trying to take it down. Cybernetics core going down. Refallen has sort of been forced into a one base kind of play, but a delayed one base kind of play, and now needs to put down this Nexus as soon as he can. Just waiting for some creep to proceed, I believe, as we see it go there. And Nexus, there we go. So he needs to catch up. He's going to be chrono boosting out those probes, I would believe, just to catch up in the harvest account. In fact, if we check it now, they are currently even. So definitely not skipping on the probes all during that. However, he is currently supply blocked. Going to be getting out +1 attack, which is very crucial in this matchup, able to make those zealots more and more efficient, as well as getting out his warp gates. No signs of a stalker or a sentry, instead electing to get out an early zealot, and also putting down a stargate. So we might be seeing some more void ray plays as we saw in game 2. And MoonGlade, knowing that there is definitely no attack on the way, just going to be putting down his third and securing an even more dominant economic lead. Let's take a look at the income tab, and he is currently ahead in minerals, not quite ahead in gas, both of them staying on 2 geysers, but a little bit of a lead on the harvester count as well. Some nice overload positioning here, able to spot any buildings that are going to be created. Right here, he did spot the cybernetics core. Should be seeing these 2 gateways go down as well. So we do have a sort of a 3-gate Stargate at the moment. Just pumping out these zealots, saving the gas for these. Oh, phoenixes. Okay. So gonna be using some phoenixes just to take down some overlords, I would believe, snipe off some probes, use that harassment to try and claw his way back into the economic game, the macro game that is, and yeah, sort of match the bases. However, he is completely unaware that Glade is trying to get up his 3rd, and will indeed have an increasingly superior harvester count. Just going to be chrono boosting out some probes, and warp gates is just about finished as well. Going to get out a sentry, and the early armor upgrade is also definitely doing well as armor on his upgrades, but not so good on his units. We do have these zealots going to go in for a poke. However, there are tons of spine calls here as well as the queen. He's going to be just fine. 2 queens here at this natural expansion. What happened to that phoenix, actually? I'm trying to look on the minimap to find where it is. Let's take a look at the mineral lines. We do have a Hydralisk den going down, and this zealot managing to get a peek up into the main. This is huge. He's going to be able to see all of these tech structures. If he managed to click on that, he does see the Hydralisk den finish. Double Evo chamber, going to be getting out those upgrades for the missile attacks, and the Carapace as well as the Hydra range, getting up his 3rd as well. And Phoenix Void Ray in conjunction is actually a very good combination against a Zerg. With 1 queen, you can just lift it up and Void Ray it, or sometimes you can push it to 2 queens. You lift 1 and Void Ray the other. This probe is actually idle and not mining anything, which does bug me quite a bit. This armor upgrade is almost finished, and we do have the 2nd Void Way on the way. Just looks like this overload is doomed to die from that prismatic beam, and this probe is still idle. It's his builder. Always need to shift click them back onto the minerals as well. And it does look like we are seeing a little bit of a drone transfer right here, and the Twilight Council is actually finishing up right now for Refallen. So are we going to see Blink or Charge or any sort of upgrades? I would think Blink, just because he is a little bit heavier on the Stalkers, and they can help reinforce those air units a little bit if they are out of position. 2nd Phoenix on the way. I think that 1st Phoenix died. I'm not sure where it went. If we look at the unit counter station, yeah, it must have died to those queens. And we do see this Void Ray going to be coming in through the back for some harassment. Let's see how successful it is going to be. Perhaps it's going to meet up with the 2nd one. No, instead it does not choose to go into the main to take down any sort of tech structure. Possibly going to be going to the center. However, it will be met in the face with 5 Hydralisks, which are very effective against those Void Rays just because they can fire so quickly. Phoenix joining up with the rest of the aerial group, and it looks like they are just going to be scouting, overload hunting. This overload is also going to go down, which will supply cap MoonGlade. However, no, he doesn't have any Void Rays, any overloads on the way. However, he is getting a Spire up to assist those Hydralisks, and it does look like Refallen is just going to be gearing up to take his 3rd. However, it's a really late 3rd, just due to scouting, really. I mean, if your opponent takes an expansion ahead of you, you can either macro up a larger army than him and try to do some damage, or you can meet the base as soon as you can. Refallen kind of did neither, just because he was taking up, his army isn't that big, and because he didn't really know about the 3rd, his own 3rd is quite a little bit late. However, he is taking the high yield, so that may be able to compensate a little bit for it. Some fantastic creep spread from Glade at the moment. I think it's red style, where you put down 1 creep tumor, and as you extend that creep tumor, you work your queen up to that creep tumor and put down a new one, which just helps that creep spread exponentially. And it does look like we have some High Templar on the field for Refallen. Psionic Storm almost finishing, as well as that ground weapons level 2. Going to be pumping out his 3rd Nexus and some more upgrades, as well as a robotics facility. So definitely going to be diverging on the tech path. These 2 overlords, a little bit of a misrally right there, I would think, just because he knows that there are indeed Void Rays on the field. However, no, he's just using them to spot every single expansion, getting up some critical scouting information. He does have the overload speed, so they should be able to outrun these Void Rays, I would believe. It is just going to matter if they go in a straight line or not, and it doesn't look like this overload is going to go down, which won't supply Cut Blade in the slightest. He's actually built a very large buffer for himself, just because Zerg can macro up those units very quickly. Going to be taking out his own high yield expansion as well, just to match the Protoss 3rd base. And all these different tech paths for Refallen, just going into Templar, into Stargate, into Robo now. It's really taking a toll on the number of units he is fielding just in his army. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to match the Zerg army just on a hit point to hit point basis. Sure, you can compensate with Psionic Storm and other abilities by dealing out damage, but that's really it's really straining on your micro skills and your positioning with your army, as well as general tactics. And it does look like the creep spread here is going to be denying a 4th expansion anytime soon, at least for the moment. And Glade actually getting out some Corruptors at the moment, so I guess he saw that Robo facility, yeah, and thought Colossus might be on the way. However, no robotics Bay at the moment, just building some pylons right here, getting Zealot Charge and the Kydarian Amulet as well. Zealot Charge, possibly one of my most favorite upgrades in the game, just because it makes the Zealots look so much cooler. No signs of any air upgrades either, just continuing to build off these Warp Gates, 6 Warp Gates at the moment, 1 Stargate and 1 Robo. Yeah, so just very mixed up army, very Zealot heavy, so that upgrade is definitely going to help a lot. And here we do have an engagement, some not so interesting positioning from both players actually. These units getting a little bit spread out at the moment. It does look like Glade is looking to advance here, he's looking to engage. He is almost takes down one Void Ray, however getting caught in some very good defensive Psionic Storms. It will take a huge chunk out of that army. I would back up at the moment just because these cannons are here and wait for some better positioning. But he is putting the roaches into the front now to brunt some damage. He's going in for the kill currently, taking down those cannons very quickly. Currently at 2-2 upgrades, whereas Refallen is currently at 102 to attack, that is. And it does look like these Hydras and roaches are able to clean up the cannons and will probably take down the rest of the army along with these Corruptors. Corruptors using their corruption ability on some of the units, I would believe. And it does look like he's going to win through overwhelming numbers. He's going to be pushing into this third. We have 23 roaches on the way. Burrow is half done. And this charge upgrade, which was so critical just then, was not done. If only that charge upgrade had been done, if only Refallen had just waited a little while longer, possibly even sacking this expo, falling back to this natural choke, and use his Zealot Charge, just waiting on it. And he actually had another 6 gateways going up, so just able to push in there right before Refallen is able to macro up a huge army. So some nice timing there off MoonGlade. So the series currently stands as 2-1 in favor of him. So join me for Game 4 to see whether MoonGlade is able to shut out the series entirely and advance to the finals, or if Refallen is able to dig it out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.